Hello and welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Timo Albus Daly. Joining me once again this week is none other than the Italian Stallion herself, Rebecca Busi. It's been a while since Rebecca was last on the podcast, and since then she's competed in a number of rallies, including the Infamous Dakar and the Sonora Rally in Mexico, where she finished in P2 after a thrilling battle that came right down to the wire. We chatted about this, as well as her recent announcement about joining an OnlyFans team for the two Baja Rallies this July, her ambitions for the rest of the year, how she found herself in the world of acting, and much more. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you very much for being here today. First of all, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You? How are
Very
you
good.
doing?
I'm good. And by the time this comes out, you'll have had some more good news to come because it'll be official that you're racing with an OnlyFans team in Italy and Spain very, very soon. Tell us everything about that.
So basically, OnlyFans put in touch me and Halpa Sanchez, another co-driver from Spain, but her specialty is rally, not actually cross-country or rally raid. But she's very good. Like she raced with Nasser too, and I'm not Nasser, you can see. So I hope to don't destroy her hope in me, but and so OnlyFans put us in touch, and we started to think about a project that we can do together, we could do together. The initial project was with my Lancia Delta, make two rally with that one. But I say to her that I never actually drive in a rally, like not a cross country or rally raid. So in the normal one, and I say, I don't think I should start with my car in the first place, Lancia in second place, and three for the project, actually. So we say, okay, let's make a race in Italy and a race in Spain. And we came out with the Italian Baja and the Baja Aragon. So we presented all the project, and actually OnlyFans really liked it, and we are gonna to build OnlyFans racing team.
That's just awesome to hear, and I love that the partnership between you and OnlyFans has just kept growing and growing. It's clearly got a lot of faith in you.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be with them. They are a very great person that listen to your project, and they are trying to find a solution for every problem we have, actually. And of course, I'm glad to meet them because without I couldn't race and making Dakar or Mexico or Morocco or whatever rally I'm doing. The big part of everything is by them. So it's a very great community, and I hope next year I'm gonna take the OnlyFans racing team in the World Championship. That's my hope. We will see if it's gonna work. But actually, yes, they are very great, and well, they gave me the possibility to race for the first time in Italy. So here we are.
Match made in heaven. I'm loving it. So these rallies, they're both happening in July.
Yes, one will be from 6 to 9 of July, Italian Bahia, and then we have Baja Aragon from 20 to 22 of July, 23 of July, both in the same month. And we are gonna make very good things, even with the social media. We are gonna record episode of the rally, so you are gonna come, like, even if you're not with us, you're gonna be with us anyway.
Feel like we're in the car. I love that. And have you met your new co-driver yet, or will it be the first time you meet her kind of on the weekend of the racing?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up her for the first time in Venice, and then we will go in Pordenone. Because we had no time to meet before, unfortunately. But my amazing co-driver for the World Championship, Sebastian, say, hey, you can come here and make a road book. It's not a problem, no worries. But I think we will have no time, unfortunately. So it will be a very experiment for us. But I just won't have fun on those two rally. I'm not participating to the championship of cross country rally. I'm not doing anything. I just want to have fun and show to the people what means being with us. Because at this time I have the possibility, because I don't have to move people from to the other part of the world actually, but like they are gonna come, the video maker that are my friends, and they are gonna come with us for both of the rally. So I have actually finally the possibility to show what we are doing.
No, it's perfect. Those all coming together, and you say they're a bit. It's a bit of an experiment, but I feel like that's a lot of your racing career so far. In a lot of ways, is you just trying various different things, and each one's kind of ambitious in its own way, and you always get success in some way out of it. I think so. It's going to be really interesting to see what you do this time.
Yeah, I'm very excited and anxious to race in my country. Actually, I never did. And
it's kind of crazy that it's taken this long for you to race in Italy, though.
Well, I like desert, and I like the open space, and it will be like the second time in my life I race in a forest or something like this.
Not desert.
Which is exactly my specialty, because in the Baja they go very, 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 very 100%. In what we do in Rally Raid, we go 100%, but sometimes we think, hey, here, if you go too fast, you're gonna break everything, so take a break. So it's a different kind of race, but I think it's gonna be fun. Not for the water or for the mud, but it's gonna be fun.
What's not proper kind of off-road racing if you don't get a little bit dirty, though?
Well, I'm racing the desert because I don't like get dirty, but
Yeah, but you got to deal with all the sand when you bring it back home with you, so it's a different kind of dirt. Going back to early this year, though, go back to the desert slightly. You did compete again in Dakar, and it was quite a grueling experience. But I feel like there was also a lot to be happy about it from your side as well. So I want to know, was that the trickiest race that you've done to date?
What you want to know about my Dakar? I think my Dakar is a mix of the perfect first unfinished Dakar. That's also a good mix. Dakar was me being unprepared to the most difficult race of the world on the first place, and then I took a series of wrong decisions, like getting the team who was first Dakar for them too, and my co-driver at that time was first Dakar too, and too many first time altogether, and of course we mess it up a little bit, and without a little bit, and then of course I had fever for 4 days. That didn't help.
No.
If you want to know something about my Dakar, the call should continue for 2 hours more.
Maybe we'll have that as a separate podcast series. But I mean, I feel like there's some positives you could take from it, though. I mean, I know that you had all these difficulties, like you say, but despite all of that, you still managed to get very close to the finish there, and you kind of managed to just keep going. And I imagine that now that you're not there, because I mentioned at the time it was probably not the most fun experience on a few of those days, but I feel like you probably learned a lot that you can apply now for other races.
Well, in the Dakar, I choose to stop at the 12th stage because the car had a lot of problems, and the organization come to us and say, hey, if the car broke in the middle of the desert, we have to leave there the car. Was already enough destroyed by myself to take us at this choice. So I say, well, we are already out of the Dakar because we were already in a Dakar experience section. I say this is not gonna work. Like even if I arrive to the end, I cannot say that I finished the Dakar, because the Dakar finish if you are inside the ranking, but already in the 4th day, 5th day, we ran out of fuel because there were some water in the fuel tank, so the car stopped and we arrived to the refuel station too late to continue. So that at that time we already finished in the Dakar experience, and when I had to choose between going everything or that's it, this is destiny, how I could choose to break definitely the car, like it's not even mine,
No, I think after that, it's like you say, you just wanted to keep going to try and you were there already. You could go, you could push things a little more and at least get some more driving time for yourself and just see what you could learn there. And I'm curious, you bounced back in pretty spectacular style then, not that long after down in Mexico in the Sonora Rally, because you finished P2 there. How much did the Dakar and the difficulties there help you to switch things up for that? Because that's a pretty good turnaround.
Well, actually, after Dakar, I was in a very bad state of mind, to be honest, because you spend all the year to organize a race and you figure it out you cannot finish already at the 5th stage. Okay, I end up to the 12th because I have
you're you.
Because I'm stubborn enough, even with the fever, with the cough, with whatever I had. Oh, for the first week, I also had pain on my arm too. I couldn't
I think that's on the bingo card. That's bingo.
Whatever I had doesn't matter. I wanted to arrive to the end, but I couldn't. So after Dakar, I did few days of training in Dubai and it ended up very well actually, but were 3 days, nothing more. And when I arrived to Mexico, I say, well, I don't know what my point is. Like I'm learning something for Dakar, or whatever I did in the Dakar was wrong. And probably yes, 80% of stuff I did was wrong. But in Mexico, I had the possibility to stay with Sebastian, he will be my co-driver for the World Championship. And it teach me a lot of things. And I had the possibility with him and to use his experience. He did 14 Dakar.
Okay, that's a little bit of experience. Yep.
I could use that, and he ended up really well actually. But the first time when we did the shakedown, actually, I was feeling that much right. Like, okay, I can go faster maybe, but what the car? Because in the Dakar I rolled twice, and what the fuck? You have a bit of fear then.
I remember you after the shakedown being cautiously optimistic, but I don't think you were fully trusting it yet because it was still pretty early. And like you say, with the Dakar, things went wrong pretty early there. So you were like, I don't believe what I'm seeing yet, maybe, because I want to get a bit further first before I start thinking maybe this is going okay this time.
Well, yeah, the fears are always there. Even if you don't hear to them, they are quite knocking to your door sometimes during the stage. But the good point was that Sebastian was challenging me and make me try to make more stuff and teaching me some trick to look at, and he helped it. And then he figured out my style of driving, and he say, okay, you have a clean drive style, don't make dirty, continue as you doing. And then he was always happy with me, and I was happy
and
too.
surprised.
So that was a good collaboration.
And if I'm remember correctly, was that the first race where you actually had to communicate in English for the entire time?
Yeah,
How was that?
was. Okay, so I am I was okay. Like the first day I had headache all night because okay, I'm speaking English now quite a lot, but while you are so focused on racing and I'm not thinking English, I'm thinking Italian because I'm
Oh yeah.
Italian. And I don't know why, but the first day was quite difficult to me, and some of the words I didn't know. And Sebastian did a very cute things. He took a piece of strap and wrote the Italian words. And if he knew, and if he saw, like, then I couldn't understand what he was saying to me. It was like tornante and saying to me in Italian, so that helped. But at the end was fine. Also in English, I just needed one day to get over that problem, and then was fine. Sebastian was really precise on the notes, and he was really, really helpful. And I had no choice, so I had to learn. Probably with Alba we are gonna use Spanish, so we're gonna see.
Was that first time for Spanish as well then?
Of course.
You're
Of
doing
course.
a lot of experimentation, like you were saying.
Well, as I say at the beginning, I want to have fun. And to
Yeah.
me, trying different languages, it's fun in the car. And I think can work. I'm speaking a little bit of Spanish. I say to Alba, well, you have to teach me the terms probably. But we are gonna make it somehow.
It's similar to Italian, so hopefully it should be relatively straightforward.
Yeah, maybe it will be easier than English. Who
We
knows?
find out. I'm intrigued as well. You're saying about having fun in these two rallies coming up. When you went to Mexico after Dakar, because like you say, you weren't in the best frame of mind, did you approach the rally in Mexico more kind of less pressure on yourself and just thought, let's just see what happens without a particular aim? Or what was kind of your mindset there? Because I feel like with these two coming up, you just want to go out there, have experience, have fun, that kind of thing. No?
Well, there is one thing. I'm starting the day I take the flight, for example, they say, oh, I'm gonna have fun. I just want experience and have more knowledge. But then when I end up there and I start racing,
It switches.
God damn, I cannot continue to do that. So, well, after the shakedown, I was okay, it's gonna be fun. The prologue, I was slow, like I want to have fun, have experience, and learn from Sebastian. But then the first stage that I actually started to go along with the car and all the situation, I was, okay, let's go. What we are waiting for. And we ended up on the last stage that Sebastian was go, 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 and on the straight part of the stage. So no, we didn't have we
I suppose then I'm
let's
asking if you are you having that thing of before you get there, obviously you're not putting any pressure on yourself, you're just thinking in this calm, let's have fun and just get experience food. And because of that, when it does switch when you're in the car, because then you become a racing driver again, you're like, okay, let's go, and it just feels more natural. Whereas if before you're like, right, we've got to do this, and we've got to take it seriously, would you feel like it wouldn't come as naturally then maybe when you did get in the car?
Well, I think so, but actually my only focus was arrive closer as much as I could from but I was it was about winning the Dakar, and what I wanted from myself was showing that actually Dakar was a series of bad choices and not all my fault. And
Yeah.
that was pretty much what I showed in Mexico.
No, definitely. And like I say, it was very, very good to see you get that P2. It was kind of seeing you P3 for a while, and then you're getting closer and closer. Like, come on, P2, come on. And then sure enough,
Yeah,
P2.
last day was 10 minutes or something like this, the gap between me and him. And to me, it was quite good because if I think that it was about to winning the Dakar and I was 10 minutes from the winner, it means that maybe I had some chance to don't finish the night, you know?
Yeah.
But life is what happened while you are planning something else, no?
Very true. So we've got the 2 rallies coming up in July, very busy month. Aside from that, what are your other plans for this year?
Well, this year we have Desafio Ruta in Argentina, but the problem is the sponsor, of course, because it's quite hard to find it. And I'm working on it, but I'm quite worried about making it. And that's for me a very pity because most of the people that are following me on Instagram are from South America and are from Argentina, actually. And in these days,
that's so random, right?
Yeah, and these days I'm receiving like at least 5 messages. Oh, saludos from Argentina. We are waiting you for Desafio Ruta. Yeah, I wish, guy, but I'm not sure yet. So, and then was a very good rally, very tough one will be. So I was very, I'm very, I don't know how I feel about it, but I really want to do that because it's very close to how Dakar is actually, because the stages are really long and challenging, and it's not summer like in Mexico, but it's winter. So we have this low temperature that I struggle a lot with Dakar. So that will be helpful for my training, but it is what it is at this point in time, and we will see. And after that, there is the Rallye du Maroc, of course, in Morocco. And that one will be good, but always hot temperature because it will be in October. So in Morocco, it's about 40 degrees at that time.
Would melt.
So again, it's working with desert, you know. And after that, we have Dakar, pretty much.
Definitely. I was going to say, I'm really hoping you get those 2 because, like you say, they'd both be very good kind of preparation, if nothing else, for Dakar for next year. Like you say, you've got the heat and the temperatures in one, and then in Argentina, you've kind of got a mixture of everything as close as you could get to it. So it'd be very nice for you to be able to get that.
Yeah, it would be very nice because it's a very long race and I really want to do it. Also to figure it out about my new preparation, because now after Dakar, I started to be prepared by a coach. So Mexico went really good with him. I had no pain. I was fully on shape, and now I'm training like I have to do Argentina, because if happen, I won't be ready. So
yeah, you've got to prepare yourself as much as you can for it, just because you've at least there's no disadvantage to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm preparing as much as I can, and then ended up with this 2 rally in the middle, which is a good training. But actually, the training will be even harder than what I'm doing now for Argentina, because as I told them, there is the altitude problems, because it's switching during a single day can switch a lot to the altitude, and then the temperature, a lot of stuff, and the stages are very long, like 400K more or less. So I won't be prepared for that, and if it happens, but if it will not happen, I will be there anyway, you know. I'm gonna fly it.
Yeah. You'll find a way. So I'm intrigued as well. It's been a couple of years since you started racing now, which is weird in a way, because it's is it
Well, 1 to 2. I'm counting Classic Dakar, no?
I'm sorry. I did Dakar classing in 2022.
Okay, it feels like a lot longer.
Yeah, I did Dakar in 2022. We are in 2023, so it's
It's true.
1.5.
I must have been thinking of like seeing the training stuff from when you were getting ready for it and just assumed in my mind. But okay, it's been a long year and a bit. Okay. Um, Going off of then, what do you think is the biggest difference between you then and you now as a driver?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so back then, actually now what I do in life is driving. If it's for, and it's the big difference because before I was studying and the plan was go to work in my family company. But actually what I do now is driving for life. I drive for rallies, and even if I pay that, but it's okay. But I signed with Lamborghini Squadra Corse as well as a coach driver and driver, not for competition, of course, but actually what I do in life, it's driving. So the big difference is that I'm getting professional of what I'm doing, even if I consider myself still a beginner. But
You've taken that next step in a way of making it your life, as not instead of part of your life.
Yeah, I think it's a bit different. Like it's not anymore a passion or something that I would like to do, but it's something that I'm doing, and it's something that in the future should continue like this.
I think so. There's a lot of potential there, so I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. And part of you kind of driving just all the time, you went a little bit different last year as well because you took part in a film playing Fabricia Pons in a film that's hopefully coming out sometime this year. So tell us a bit about that for people who don't know about it, and what was it like being an actress?
Well, they contact me through Instagram, I think, and I didn't answer at first. And then they sent me an email, the same message of Instagram, and say, "Oh, well, maybe it's true." And I went to Rome, and we started the work in May. And it's a film about the story of rally between the Battle of Lancia and Audi. And I was Fabrizia Pons in the film, and being an actress is quite funny, actually.
You're a natural?
Yeah, it's funny, the makeup, the hair, and then they took picture to make you exactly in the same way on the next time. And then you have a lot of fun because anyway, you are working at least 8 hours per day, and it's a bit boring during the set because you are recording the same scene like 20 times in different
different angles.
Yeah, different angles. And it depends. Like the last week we did the party in Monaco. Maybe this I shouldn't do it, say it, but anyway, we recorded a party and we had a lot of fun by recording that party. But when we were recording the scene of racing, we were under 40 degrees in Sanremo and wasn't funny at all.
No, you need a good umbrella and a bit of shade that day.
Yeah, but it's good. I hope it will happen again, that thing.
I would say you'd want to do it again then, if something came up.
Well, why not? I'm not an actress, but this is clear. But well, it was
we'll
funny.
Find out when we watch the film.
Well, I actually received another call for a Netflix film a few months ago, but I declined it.
How come?
Come that they were searching for a driver to make a drift scene, but I say no.
Fair enough. Are there any other film franchises that you watch and you think I'd like to be part of that?
No, it's because, now another big difference that I'm feeling right now is that before maybe I wasn't consider myself as a driver, and whatever arrives on the table, I was doing it, and even it was for free.
Mhm.
But now that's my job. This is what I'm doing, and like I live with what I'm doing now.
You want to make sure that
So
everything counts.
exactly.
Cool.
So it's normal. It's like to you write an article for free,
Yeah, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. Couple of fun questions then, obviously, as it's me to finish things off, that are not related to anything motorsport. If you could run a business of any kind, serious or silly, that's up to you, what kind of business would you love to run?
I would like open a restaurant,
Okay, Italian food, I take it.
of course,
Okay.
but
Pasta
somewhere
exclusively.
somewhere very far from Italy, actually.
No, it makes sense. That makes sense. And would you serve only pasta to kind of go with
No,
your
we have
motto?
a lot
Or
of things here. We have a lot of things
no, I'm
here to
just
see.
thinking because of your kind of eat pasta, drive faster. I thought that might be or would that be maybe the name of the restaurant?
Well, we can call the restaurant the pasta that make you fast.
Or is it, if this happens, by the way, I'm taking full credit.
Wherever it will be open, you will be my guest.
And then, would you rather live in a tree house or in a cave?
3 hours.
I thought you might say that.
Of course, I'm living in the middle of the forest here in Italy. I will always choose for tree house.
I need to choose more difficult
Why
questions
that
next time.
question?
Why not? I don't have a plan with these. I just find something fun and I try and catch you out. I need to work harder.
It's true.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure as always to chat with you, and I want to wish you best of luck for the rallies in July, and keep my fingers crossed that we can get you in Argentina and Morocco as well.
Morocco, I think it's quite sure to go, but Argentina is on the fence, so we will see.
Keep fingers crossed.
Thanks again to Rebecca for coming onto the Kerbs with me. I can't wait to see how she gets on in the rest of 2023. If you want to follow her career, links to her socials will be in the description below, so do go and check those out. Join me again next time when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, as well as check out the back catalogue of episodes on the On the Kerbs channel. If you want even more from me, you can chat about everything Formula 1 over on the Undercut Podcast, as well as delving into the world of Nitro Cross over on the Nitro RX Podcast. Both available wherever you get your podcasts. As for written content, I currently write for Is It Fast and Paddock Sorority, so be sure to check all of them out with original pieces released each week. All of the information and links for those will be in the description below, as well as my Instagram handle if you want to go and follow me there. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll be back soon with another episode.